Hi guys, so it's a very happy and excited Pavi G reporting on Novak Djokovic getting to yet another semi-final. He beats Taylor Fritz last night in 4 tough sets. A really fun match, and it means that as it stands today, bearing in mind that Jannik Sinner hasn't played his quarterfinal match yet, that he is the only ATP player to have got to the semi-finals of all 4 majors this year. And this guy is 38 years old. This is absolutely sensational, absolutely staggering. This is the guy that last year everyone said he should retire. He can't compete anymore at the top end. He doesn't have the motivation. He can't mix it up with the young players anymore. He proves everyone wrong yet again. So not only has he made every single semi-final of the majors this year, he returns back to the world top 4. This is a guy who this year has only been prioritising playing in the Grand Slams. So it is a really phenomenal achievement. Huge congratulations to Novak. In terms of the match itself, it was an interesting match. I think for the first set, Taylor Fritz didn't just only have his headband on upside down, he just didn't settle at all. I've never seen Taylor Fritz struggle so much with his serve. He didn't hit a single ace. This is like a guy who's been acing up the US Open this year, and he couldn't hit a single ace. He was struggling to get his first serves, and I think that really kind of impacted the way that Djokovic played as well, because I thought Djokovic came out really strong. He raced to another early lead. He got the early break and thought, yes, I really need to go and attack Taylor Fritz. But then I think he almost felt that actually I don't need to do that much attacking here. I can just kind of play on Taylor Fritz's mistakes, and that's kind of what he did. And he kind of got through the first set. I don't think the level of tennis in the first set from either player was particularly good. And in the second set, you could see that Taylor Fritz was now really upping his level, and he was almost on every Djokovic game. He was getting break points, but Djokovic was pulling his level up on those really key points. He is the king of clutch, and when he the big points come, Djokovic raises his level, and he did that really well in the second set, and he managed to hang on really at 7-5. And I was kind of saying at the time that Djokovic needed to just up his level a little bit in that third set, or Fritz would fight back. Djokovic didn't. He kind of was still coasting. He was playing great in times, but a little bit placid in some times, and passive. Sorry. And he let Fritz to kind of get on the front foot, and Fritz won the third set. The fourth set was a bit of a concern to me, because this is the set where both of the players really brought it. So Fritz was now serving ace after ace. He was hitting corners. He was back serving over 125, 130 mile an hour serves. And, I was thinking Djokovic really needs to raise his level here, or he could be in a right scrap. But Djokovic did. Djokovic completely took out his unforced errors. He started serving into spots and making it really difficult for Taylor Fritz. And Taylor Fritz has alluded to that in the interview, saying that the second serves in particular by Djokovic, were really difficult to read. So Djokovic went on, records the win in 3.5 hours, just under 3.5 hours, 4 sets in a very entertaining atmosphere. Djokovic had a few spats with a couple of people that were trying to rile him and put him off when he was serving. So he gave them a few kisses back when he won the second set, which was great to see. But Djokovic looks engaged, and I've said this from this US Open, he is ready. Now, right before this US Open even started, people were laughing at me when I said that Djokovic has spent weeks in a training camp, like boxers do. Boxers go away to a training camp before they fight, and then when they come and fight, they really bring the kind of hard work that they've done in the training camps. And that's what's happening to Djokovic. The first couple of rounds he struggled because it's a different type of fitness. He has worked so hard to bulk up. He is supremely fit. In the first couple of rounds, it's a different fitness with Grand Slams, but he has now got those matches in his belt. So he has now got the fitness, he's also got the games, and like he always says himself, Djokovic always says that he tries to get better and better in a Grand Slam, and he wants to peak for the kind of business end of the tournament. He is now in that business end of the tournament. He is in the semi-final. He is up against one of the most informed players on the planet, a player that is now well, he's almost back to world number one. He's in supreme form. Carlos Alcaraz, a phenomenal player. Obviously, he's going to be a big threat to Novak Djokovic. I've always said that I felt Alcaraz is probably strongest. US Open was his first Grand Slam. It's one of his events that he feels very, very comfortable with. However, before everyone saying Alcaraz is going to romp to this, you have to look at the last couple of years of games between Djokovic and Alcaraz. And some may be surprised to know that Novak Djokovic has won 4 of the last 5 matches that these two have played. Yep, that is correct. And we can go back with those, and it will go back to 2023. So this is a period of over 2 years. He beats Alcaraz in the Cincinnati final. That was one of the longest finals the Masters that has ever been. That was a record. Djokovic came through a thrilling match. He then also beat Carlos Alcaraz quite comfortably in the World Tour final, also in 2023. That was done in straight sets. And then the third match was Wimbledon 2024. Now, many of you remember that Djokovic had a meniscus tear on his knee. He wasn't even expected to play in Wimbledon. I remember Andy Roddick saying there's no chance he plays in Wimbledon. Djokovic not only played Wimbledon, he actually got all the way to the final. But he was struggling with his knee because he literally had surgery about 5 or 6 weeks before. And Alcaraz took full advantage. I was there at Wimbledon at the time, and I kind of said to Reggie, who I was sitting next to at that time, I said, I don't think Djokovic's knee is going to kind of sustain this. That was after 1 game. So, it wasn't surprised to me that Alcaraz won that 3-0. I don't think Djokovic was anywhere near the best. And then the last 2 matches, obviously the epic Olympic gold medal final, which was the best that I've seen Djokovic play for many, many years. He beat Carlos Alcaraz in 2 very, very tight sets. And then obviously even this year, so it's not a case that his wins have come from years ago. He's beaten him recently. The performance that he did against Alcaraz in the Australian Open this year, quarterfinal, was phenomenal. It really, really was. But towards the end of the match, obviously Djokovic picked up that Achilles tear, which unfortunately meant that he was in no fit shape to really do anything in the semi-final, and he had to retire after 1 set against Sasha Zverev. So Djokovic has got absolutely nothing to fear against Alcaraz. He holds all of the cards against him. Alcaraz really struggles to play against Djokovic. And I think it's going to be a really, really interesting match. Obviously, the bookmakers' favourite, and understandably so, is going to be Carlos Alcaraz. He's a lot younger than Djokovic. He's recorded a lot more wins than Djokovic this year, and he is cruised into the semi-final. But, having studied everything, and mainly Djokovic, I do genuinely think Djokovic can win this match, and I believe that he will win this match. It's not going to be easy. I think if he played like he did in the first couple of sets against Fritz, he hasn't got a chance. But if he plays like he did against Norrie, if he plays like he did against Struff, if he plays like he did against Fritz in that 4th set, I believe Djokovic will beat Carlos Alcaraz in 5 sets. That is the official Paviji prediction. I'm confident. I've said from the very, very start, before a ball was even hit at the US Open, I saw that Djokovic had the eye of the tiger. He's got that rocky look. He's here for business. A lot of people, some people said, oh, why hasn't he brought his family? And I don't think he wants any distractions this US Open. He really kind of wants to just hone in on playing the US Open and doing as well as he can, and hopefully bring him back that title. He had an extended break after Wimbledon. He had a lot of time with his family, but he was training at that same time, and I think he just wanted to go into the US Open and thought, I just want to go ahead I want to be a Rocky here, and I want to just kind of focus purely on tennis, and that's what he's doing. You know, he's really in great shape. I think he's got a great balance in the US. He's done a bit of promo stuff, but not a lot of promo stuff. If you remember in 2024, after the Olympics, he was doing a lot of promo stuff because he was in demand, and I knew then that he really wasn't in that shape mentally to go on and have a serious run at the US Open. But this time I think his preparation is spot on. It's ideal. And Alcaraz, of course, is going to be a very, very difficult opponent, but I think that Novak Djokovic can do it. And what an achievement it will be. You know, it's absolutely hilarious. I was looking back at some of the old tweets from some of the establishment members. They were all writing him off and saying that he's not got it anymore and he should, you know, kind of give it up. They don't want Djokovic to do well because they want to push this Alcaraz and Sinner rivalry. They think Djokovic is done. No, they haven't really forgiven him for being the third wheel and taking the dreams that they had kind of created for Federer and Nadal to be the greatest of all time. And you know, they still can't take that. They just don't like the fact that Djokovic will never be someone for the establishment. He's not a yes man. He's not going to comply with what they want to do. He's very much his own man. And the establishment people like yes men. You know, that's why they love people like Sinner and Alcaraz and you know, before that Federer and kind of Nadal as well. You know, these people, you know, great players, but establishment love them because they kind of can control them. They can kind of, you know, tell them what to do and how to act. And with Djokovic, he's always been a little bit of a loose cannon for the establishment. They've always struggled to kind of control him. And if they can't control him, they can't control the narrative that they want to push. So this is, you know, one of many reasons why he's never been a big favourite with the establishment. And seeing all the media kind of, you know, still speak negatively of him. This guy, you know, deserves phenomenal respect. Even if he was to lose every single tennis match from now on, he's done it all. He's absolutely done it all. It's a pleasure and privilege to see him play. We, you know, all tennis fans, not just Djokovic fans, should be so you know, humbled and so blessed that we can see him in our kind of lifetime. And especially now, you know, there was a screenshot that I shared before with people supporting Djokovic from all over the world, from Asia, from Middle East, from Europe, from America, from Africa, from Australia. You know, you name it, there was people there that was, you know, from different religions, different backgrounds, different races, all coming together, united in the support of Novak Djokovic. This is a guy that we were told for many years only had a fan base in Serbia, and he's only liked in Serbia. That's what they wanted us to believe. But, you know, they can't kind of keep lying, and that's why they hate people like me and other people who have got platforms that tell the truth, because they can't control the narrative that they're trying to push. And the reasons why they do that has a lot to do with money, power and control. But that is a separate topic, and I'm sure I'll delve into that for those who are interested in a separate video. But for now, Djokovic, he looks in great shape. You know, there was no injury concerns yesterday. Obviously, he had a back and a neck strain in his last couple of matches. He looked pretty good. I thought his breathing was good. He looked super fit. You know, he was dancing at the end of a 3.5 hour battle. He now gets an extra rest day. The match against Alcaraz is not going to be Friday in the daytime, so he gets an extra day off here, which you know, is what you need really at this stage of a Grand Slam 2 weeks in. And you know, I think he's gonna come out all fires. Everything will be firing against Alcaraz that will need to be firing, and I think he can go on and win that. But you know, we're not going to get too carried away. You know, we're going to give a huge amount of respect to Alcaraz and then probably Sinner in the final. But I think that, you know, this is Novak Djokovic. This is a player of a lifetime. We'll never ever seen a player like him. If anyone can do this at the age of 38, it is Novak Djokovic. So there you go. I think he's been the star of this year's US Open. There hasn't been that many great matches this US Open. I think Djokovic has really brought some entertainment, that star factor really to the US Open that I think it's missed that X factor this year. And Djokovic has brought that in spades as he already does. So Djokovic Alcaraz is probably going to be one of the most watched matches of the year. I would expect, there's two phenomenal players, two very, very popular players as well, coming head to head. That's going to be a great match. Let's just hope both players are fit and healthy and the best man wins on the day. So keep enjoying the tennis, keep enjoying Djokovic's fantastic run. And we will be back with another video soon. So peace out, take care all, and speak to you soon. God bless you all. Bye. Idemo.